his sights, and FSR's in the way. So somebody's got to go, Phil.
Apart from being very talented, both of these two, they've also got in common the fact that at points this week they've struggled. Skyler Woodward made an horrendous start, but he's pulled it around. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, 2 walks in the park to begin with, then trouble, but we've seen his true colours over the last couple of days.
Yeah, some movement on the 9. We figured it's a little quiet with the golden breaks this week after what we saw at the Whirlpool Masters, but you got to figure maybe sometime today or tomorrow a big golden break's coming.
Yeah, look at this. The 1 and the 2 sitting up, and the 3-9 combo is there. I think the first rack will be swift.
Yes, it will. And I think, you know, FSR, Filler, both were in kind of an awkward favorite position as a favorite in the last round. And I think they'll both settle in. I think every player that advanced through that final 16, it being the first match of the day and such an important match to, of course, try and win the event. I think all the players are going to play a little better this evening. He wants that to slow down a little bit. No reason to get too close to his work. Now a little chip shot off the right edge of the 3.
Yeah, it wasn't the 3-9 combination. It was the 3-9 kiss shot, wasn't it? But equally effective. So Francisco Sanchez Ruiz takes the opener in no time at all. Very good start indeed. As long as you pot the lowest, or should I say, as long as you make contact with the lowest value colour on the table, and then whatever happens after that is legal, and so you can knock in the 9 nice and early. We'll keep you informed, of course, about the
second rack.
Table 1 happenings between Dimitris Lukatos and Ko Pin-Yi. Ko is a big favourite there. Lukatos in uncharted territory, playing the biggest match of his career without any doubt.
And this is what we saw in his last match, which we haven't seen much of from FSR in over a year's time, is a lot of dry breaks. The one missing a little high to the point. Now Sky Woodward with his first chance in this quarterfinal match.
Balls sitting reasonably nicely. 5 and 6 being so close together might be a potential stumbling block.
Yeah, with the balls grouped together, I think it should be okay with the 4 near. He'll want to come off the second cushion and get nice and heavy here on the pink 4. And that should do. He can go forward, go to the rail. Looks like he's got a little angle on the pink 4, so I doubt it's the draw stroke. Hannah had mentioned the Mosconi Cup and how this could be 2 guys in a big moment come December, and it's a big moment now, and I personally kind of feel like they're going to have plenty of big moments throughout the year, these 2.
Yeah, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz well clear on the European qualification list, so he's going to be at Alexandra Palace. And how would it be possible not to have Skyler Woodward on the USA team, whether he qualifies as of right or receives a captain's pick? He must be there, surely.
Yeah, and I like his chances of qualifying through rankings, of course. And Skyler, who's, no coincidence, these results he's having. Of course, a little nerves at the beginning of the tournament. Wants it so bad, but putting in time at some smaller ranking events. Of course, trying to accumulate points, but playing the best in the world, that's how you get even better.
Skyler Woodward.
Well done. Fluent rack. Back on level terms. I think we're going to see a high standard contest here. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz started out with a couple of 9-1 victories over British opponents. Then he lost 9-8 to Fitim Harad Inaj from Germany. So suddenly he was in trouble. He had to beat the New Zealander Sullivan Clark to make it to single elimination. Since then, though, fought back from a slow start to beat Victor Zielinski 10-6. Overcame Alex Pagulayan last night to be involved today. And we saw this afternoon the last surviving snooker player, Gary Wilson, vanquished by FSR 10-5.
The third rack, Skyler Woodward to break. 1 rack each.
As for Woodward, he couldn't have had a more difficult path to this stage because he lost his very first match, very surprisingly. Vangelis Stephanopoulos from Greece beat him 9-8.
I feel I'm not really sure what it is, but it seems the tables are breaking tougher in the final 16 this Saturday in the final 16. Seen a lot of dry breaks today.
Yes, a lot of dry breaks from a lot of different players. So you're right, Jeremy. It's not just coincidental, 1 or 2 players struggling. In general, that's the case.
Yeah, that last match, Shane Wolford and Fortunski had quite a few dry breaks. A lot of times when that's the case, of course, it's hard for somebody to run away, and we saw a heel match there.
Fortunski must be so relieved because at 9-6 he was in to win 10-6, missed a straightforward 3-ball. And of course, Shane Wolford then applied the heat. So for the pole to get over the line, that will
extension,
be
please.
Definitely want to exhale.
Yeah, and we know that he's a guy that has a huge upside. In my opinion, I think as big as upside as any Polish player, and really natural talent, very gifted, but does have problems sometimes between the ears, right? So he can let that one go.
Yeah, well, this time last week, Fortunski won a tournament in Finland, so he's got the winning habit.
Yeah, and good to see those results, because last year he made it. Oh, a sweet shot there. Is it enough speed? Wow, I don't know. Maybe just catching it a hair thick to the pocket, but you got to believe it was pretty pure overall and just a little short. Well, that looked dead center. So, but good to see Fortunski, of course, having those results last week again this week. I think it was the Whirlpool Masters semifinal last year where he just didn't play his best pool in such a big moment, and really haven't heard a whole lot from him since. He caught this thin. This is going to surrender a very easy shot to get started.
Yeah, I think
The
I need to check
beats
that, please.
came in
I
there.
had my eyes on the other balls. Can we just have a replay, please? Check
Now,
whether the
Marcel
cue
Eckhart
ball hit
is
the rail.
checking whether to see a cue ball, or any ball, of course, hit the rail. If it didn't, it's ball in hand.
He cut the 2 a little bit. He just came in and hit ball first. You can see there, and always good to check. Why not?
Just rewind that, please.
If you know 9-ball pool, you kind of watch the reaction of the cue ball. If you would have went to the second rail before the 2, the cue ball would have came across kind of towards the 9, and there it went forward. Easy call.
Yeah, similar situation this afternoon was checked and no foul.
Yeah, it's good hit.
Again, no foul there.
And restart the clock, please.
So the clock was stopped for that. The good thing for Woodward, even though he's not got a ball in hand, he could be away.
Yeah, I'm looking at the table and really not a whole lot of problems here. He could hold the ball here to get a little closer to the pink. That'll help him hold for what is the middle right for the purple 5. You can notice the black 8 in the way for the upper right corner. And here you can kill your ball. I mean, you can roll between the 5 and 8 if you want. You can kind of stun. I kind of like rolling between the 5 and 8 like that.
What a transformation in fortunes and form. I was talking about his defeat by Stephanopoulos. We saw the Greek play on a streaming table, centre stage as it were, shortly afterwards, and he didn't impress me at all. So to me that was an astounding defeat by Woodward. But then of course Skyler's bounced back. Since then he's won 7 matches in a row, beating some very good opponents, including Ralph Souke, the 6 times World Masters champion, and of course this afternoon Kyle Amorotto.
Yeah, that ball kind of hit a little heavy there. That needs to slow down a bit. Surprised he tried to come that much down. Probably not. Probably missed his speed. You know, you overcut the 6 a little too much to the pocket, gain a little cue ball speed. Well, he also had some tests from, you know, in some matches where he was a favorite again, a pretty substantial favorite, you might say, and pulled through on some pretty gutty kind of situations, especially after losing as a huge favorite there in the opener.
Yeah, I'll tell you about those matches when we come back after the break. What we know now is that Woodward is over a routine 9 ball to hit the front.
Skyler Woodward.
Last year's UK Open runner-up and the number 2 seed trails. Skyler Woodward recovering from the loss of the opening rack to lead 2-1.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
Welcome back, everyone, to quarter-final evening at the UK Open Pool at the Copper Box Arena in London. One of the favourites to lift this trophy, in my opinion, in the opinion of many, is Ko Pin-Yi. He was superb this afternoon in beating Moritz Neuhausen from Germany, and he's made a good start against Dimitris Lukatos, 2-0 up.
Thank you,
Ko,
Frack.
as he tries to set up that dream final against his brother. They're in different halves of the draw. It's not impossible.
All right, he got a little quick. Did get the one down, though. When you get a little quick, you could see a lot of congestion on the bottom. The balls don't want to open quite as much. That's why the cue ball was hit. The one was hit a little thin as well, and the cue ball below the rack. It did get kissed upward. And I'll tell you about the Ko brothers, and maybe along with Kachi. Maybe the Ko brothers, match in, match out, has looked better than any other players.
Well, for me, Ko Pin-Yi has been the pick of the bunch, undoubtedly. I see no weakness whatsoever. What a difference a year makes, because he was the first big name to exit the inaugural UK Open 12 months ago.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of had to do with his opponents playing some exceptional matches on him, because the one thing about Ko Pin-Yi, and just doesn't fall too much, right? He just doesn't play below his speed very often or very much. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm sure it's still the same theme, but Chinese Taipei always was very known for, you know, playing on very tight tables there. So maybe a little more comfortable than some of the other players. He's looking for a 2-rail kick to maybe squeeze the cue ball back underneath the green 6. Oh, he got underneath it. He's going to hope he flukes this in. But again, the thing that has separated him is when he does have some fortune, he can settle himself and come with these long shots like we have here on the red 3. Is he considering crossing this ball over and bringing the cue ball 1 rail underneath the 7, the brown 7? I think he is. Oh, he went for it. I'll tell you, you know, right before this run, right before that Derby City Classic he won, and I don't know, of course he won 2 Euro titles right before that as well, but you know he had a corrective eye surgery. I'm not sure exactly what kind, but I'll tell you what, the timing of it looks like it had a pretty good effect. Get some sponsorship dollars from that doctor.
That was a malfunction, though. Mind you, he has left very sniffy cueing.
Yeah, and that's twice he kind of got to the beeps in consecutive shots. And tell you, he may elevate here and try and attack and come wrap the corner out of the top left with the cue ball. Maybe catching this long rail on the bottom of your screen and dropping between the purple 5 and the black 8. We'll see. The safety's super tough. You can see how clear the open part of the table is, and anytime that's the case, very difficult to play safe. That was as calm a stroke as we've seen all week.
He's a shot maker supreme, and he's also a confidence monster. If his confidence is high, watch out. When he won the MVP in the Mosconi Cup, he was out of this world.
Yeah, 2-time MVP as well, and looks like he's playing safe with the tip position on the bottom, trying to pull the cue ball into the 8. Yeah, hoping he doesn't pocket a ball up table. And look what he did there. little massage of the balls may have opened them up for later on. And one thing that Skyler does that I don't think enough players do, and you know the greats they do of course, but is he really goes with his gut. You know, it's not always the same percentage, and I think that's correct in pool. A lot of people think it's cut and dry, and I think quite the different.
What might be cut and dried. Copigny against Dimitris Lukatos. It's 3-0 now to go.
Yeah, and Dimitris had a chance in game number 2 and let it slip away, and that's, you know, any of these players, you just can't afford that. Curious what's in Skyler's head here about the brown 7. He can't look past the 2 shots in front, but I think he wants to drop down below here and just play a real jam up safety, knocking the brown away. I'd love to get to this right side here on the bottom part of the table. Doesn't want to flirt with the scratch though. Yeah, that's the position zone there. And now a lot of times you knock the ball away, right? But here you may leave it actually fairly close to the balls. We'll see. Yeah, he was trying to nestle up on the side of that 9 off a little kiss off the 8, but still pretty decent shot there. Now with the 8 on the back rail, this is the type of kick shot you take a little chance at scratching, but you're not going to hit this very hard. You want to just bump the 7 up into the middle of the table and make Skyler come with a tough shot. Surprised he hit it with that much speed, to be honest with you, but he's still going to leave him tough. His position's going to be tough. I think Skyler does attack 3 cushions here, but he's got to have a deft touch coming some, dang, what would that be, some 18 or 20 feet around the table. I think he should shoot here, attack, and try and get that tight position. Looks like he's going to go with the safety. Is he going to edge it, or is he going to bank it across? Kind of kicked a little bit. Didn't get quite the pace on the cue ball. Really surprised he didn't attack there. And of course, these guys are at the table, so they see it best.
I'm with you, Jeremy. You know, I'd be surprised if anyone didn't attack there, but particularly Woodward, who, as we say, is that wonderful shot maker.
He's hitting a high ball. Now this is interesting, just kind of getting the 7 up table, and did he get it enough? I'll tell you, this is close. You know, it's going to be thin and have some speed with the cue ball, but close to cuttable. Now again, if you're going to play a safety, the snooker very difficult to get, so you have to leave the 7, you know, out in the middle of the table, maybe on the side rail. I think he's shooting. He needs a little kill on the cue ball here. He's going to have to play a nice little rail first, it looks like. But to me, that was a little tougher speed control than the previous one he played safe on.
Coaxed it in with running side, and of course that helped the cue ball widen to leave position on the 9.
Skyler Woodward wins the round.
The pride of Kentucky, now resident in Texas, leads Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 3-1. We were talking about Woodward, how he struggled in that first match against Stephanopoulos. He missed the 9 ball from distance, left it over the pocket, conceded. Then he won his next couple of matches relatively comfortably. But against Gareth Esprit, 8-6. And Walter Lakra, 9-7. He was put through the ringer. Walter Lakra is a 14-year-old from Sweden who then turned his attentions to the Jason Shaw Junior Open, beaten in the quarterfinals.
Skyler Woodward to break.
So Woodward has not had things easy.
Yeah, and it's failing me for some reason, but Walter had a big win in his first match in this event, so hats off to the youngsters here. Yeah, same thing. He got a little quick, and when I say by quick is he gets a little quick with the takeaway is what it is, and then the downswing just kind of responds, and that's why he's catching it just a little thin. Probably pretty fortunate to not have lost the cue ball, and fortunate, I think, to make the one. Okay, if he can reach this, I kind of like him just chipping the 2 over below the purple and come up behind the 7, I think. I don't think the right-hander can reach that good side to shoot at what would be his right side of the blue 2. He's got other options, though, that's for sure. And I think he wants to play a simple safety, though. He doesn't really want a whole lot going on with this shot. He's coming up on it. He needs that to go. He knows he's left too good of a jump shot here. And you could hear the ball kick a little bit. I think it cost him a little cue ball movement.
We had a couple of skids in the second match this afternoon. Joshua Filler, one was audible, the other one was visible.
The extension, please.
Yeah, and Skyler very aware of the jump cue. He's so good with it himself. He just missed his mark with the speed control. Maybe thought he would throw the blue 2 a little more towards the rail. And this is close. I don't know if he can see the red 3 or not. If he can, it's just enough to be able to cut it in the side. Now what's he do? Does he try to jump this to cut it in the side? The corner's not an option. Maybe a cross corner bank.
How fortunate is that?
Yeah, a little unfortunate on the snooker on the previous jump. Just overran a little bit. Skyler should be okay here, though. A little check side on this and bring the cue ball 2 rails towards the purple. You got the black 8, the pink 4, even the 9 ball is a little covered. Just want to move the 3 a little bit, maybe a foot. No reason to end up short, though. I don't know if he cut him off completely. Looks like Makudis is getting on the board there against Kopinyi.
Yeah, 9 ball in. That's confirmed.
This one's makeable in the side pocket with the 7 there. And I don't think that's 3 times in a short period of time that FSR has gotten to those, you know, the beeps the last 5 seconds of the shot clock. I don't think it's done him any favors. He seems like he's feeling some pressure to me. That's just my feeling.
As was the case against Wilson.
Yeah, it's weird, though. I could almost understand that one. You know, it's a little foreign, right? And there's a lot of story there and, you know, an awkward kind of pressure as a favorite, in my opinion, similar to Josh Filler and his match. Of course, Josh would know that Rico's a very capable young man at 15 years old. And I'm sure they played before. This is going to fall a little straight. He's going to have to draw out of this most likely. Good thing is the center of the table very open, so a little low right spin.
Never afraid, though, is he, Woodward, to bring the English.
No. And is he going to just hold here? Is he going to stun, trying to get the short pocket on the 7? I was wondering about that there. It should be okay. I mean, you remind yourself, you know, the tight pockets are there, right? But the great conditions to where, like a shot like this, you can hold this coming over, not going to the rail, maybe get the pocket a little bigger for the 7. He's not putting much draw here. He's probably a little nervous as well. Very natural, but he's not showing it, in my opinion, quite like FSR.
Skyler Woodward.
That is 4 racks in succession for Skyler Woodward. He can hold himself together when he needs to, under the most extreme, excruciating pressure a poor player can face. He came good in the Mosconi Cup in back-to-back years. As Jeremy was saying, MVP in 2018, and again 12 months later. He's won tournaments all over the United States. He's won the Texas 9-Ball Open on more than one occasion. He's travelled as far west as the Oregon coastline to win the Chinook Winds. One in Tennessee. You name a state, he's probably won a tournament there. Internationally, though, quarterfinals of the World 9-Ball Championship in 2021. That was a good achievement. But he feels he's good enough to go all the way, and so do I.
Leading by
Yeah,
4
I'm
racks
a
to 1.
third. I'll third that one, Phil. And, you know, nerves are high. You got to like it. Skyler likes the big moments. Better break off there. You didn't see near as much cut on the 1. And a very thin 2-ball that I think he will go for. And the speed to me looks like he's got to come some maybe 1, 2, 3 rails back and forth. It's a shot we work on a lot. Thin cut down the rail. Could smooth it 2 rails to the center of the table, but he can't afford a ton of angle on the pink 4 to get all the way back down table for the purple 5, so we'll see. Well, 1 downfield and another one to come.
We talked about this earlier in the week. Some great titles of events in the USA. The list of Woodward victories, my personal favourite, the Music City Open in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, that tournament, I don't know how long it's been going, but a very, very long time. As long as I've been playing pool. Like the Texas State 9-Ball, I think that's the longest running tournament in the world, actually.
To be accurate, it's the Music City Classic.
Yeah, it's just a little piece from Opryland, not far at all. Oh, sweet stroke there. He's looking to improve, it seems like, Phil.
Well, like that song, he's a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. And he's rolling the ball beautifully so far.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there. Talk about a confidence booster. Wow.
Skyler Woodward wins the rack.
The sky is the limit for Skyler Woodward. Halfway to victory over the best player on the planet in terms of the 9-ball rankings. Skyler Woodward leads Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 5-1.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone. If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
Two youngsters are trying to strike gold this evening. It's the final of the Jason Shaw Junior Open. Mika van Berkel from the Netherlands leading Max Benko from Slovenia 4-3 at the moment.
Why is that?
That's one side of the arena. Then we've got the TV table. And on the other side of the arena, well, a mini revival from Dimitris Lukatos. Ko Pin-Yi led 3-0. Now it's 3-2. But you can see Ko well placed to move 2 ahead once more. That would be astounding given the way he's played so far this
Skyler
week,
Woodward
that
is
if
leading the match by 5 racks to 1.
Ko were to lose that match.
Watch out, cue ball, but this could get scary for FSR. I'll tell you, Skyler has calmed it down. I don't know if you could tell. I could certainly tell. Much calmer with the swing there, and not a very loose cue ball. Did get a kiss right here by the green 6, but a good shot on the 2.
It will be interesting to see whether FSR has the cue ball cleaned here.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of feel the same way there. I mean, maybe it's just the audio we're getting, but certainly can't get that many kicks, right? But I didn't really see Skyler, you know, have any kind of excuse there of any sort. So, man, what a big shot.
Extension, please.
Just to confirm, Ko Pin-Yi did take a 4-2 lead.
Now, of course, attacking, you would expect anyways, maybe an awkward bridge. I think the thing that's really bothering him is the speed, the comfortable speed to pocket the 2 really brings maybe the purple 5 and the green 6 in play, you know, kind of as a snooker for the red 3 ball. Easy to overcut this one. Sweet.
We talked yesterday during his comeback against Victor Zielinski how often the 2 ball is the friend of FSR. It certainly was there. Is that going to see the launch of a comeback?
I'm shocked he played that with speed right there. Why? I mean, the 3 was never going to get away from you just rolling the ball. The only real problem you could have is attacking there with any kind of speed. Not only possibly making the 3, but, you know, the 3 could have maybe chipped away off the brown 7 into a not so friendly position for FSR. He may be going for the cross corner bank here. Nah, he's hitting a high ball, so he's putting him behind the 8. A really good safety, but if you're Skyler, he loves being able to get to the table. Now this is where the 9's a big ball to try and get separation. I might try to kick at this, trying to hit it heavy, trying to hit the pink very full and send it towards the green. Or just fluke it in.
Thought it was quite illuminating this afternoon when we spoke with Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. In his interview with Abigail, he was a little negative, I thought, for him. He's normally full of beans and positivity. He was saying he's not been happy with the way he's been playing, certainly wasn't happy with his performance against Wilson. But he's such a winning machine. You always think he's got something in the tank.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you know, it's something you and I talked about is the dry breaks, and you know, that something he hasn't faced a ton of, you know, during his wins is, and obviously he couldn't. It's very hard to win continually dry breaking, but that may have gotten him, you know, a little hiccup in his step at the moment.
Francesco Sanchez Ruiz.
It didn't lead to the winning chance, but I think the shot that will gall Skyler Woodward most in that rack was the missed 2 to the middle. You can't give Francisco Sanchez Ruiz any oxygen. He's pulled one back. It's 5-2.
Yeah, and after a dry break early, a couple of them actually, and kind of feel like FSR is going to make one and get a shot after that mistake by Woodward.
The last year and a half for Skyler Woodward's opponent, well, chances like this, they have to be taken because FSR has been brutally clinical.
Francesco Sanchez Ruiz to break, trailing 5-2.
Yeah, and I wonder, he's still breaking opposite of Skyler, but I wonder if he'll take anything about Skyler taking a little speed off, just a little. Yep, here's another dry break. So this can start to get a little mental, especially, like I said, a guy that hasn't really had to deal with this much. Now Skyler, if he can control this one nicely, put it just to the left of the brown 7, bring the cue ball onto the purple 5, this could be a really good safety, maybe producing ball in hand. Like I said, don't overthink it. Just roll up on the purple, play the 1, to our left side of the brown 7. Looks like it lays real natural. Just make sure you get a rail with the 1 ball. Looks like he's going the other way. No, this is the shot. He's going on the pink, though. This is going to lead more of a jump. FSR again. There's a lot of great jumpers out there, but when the pressure's on, he's one of the best.
The extension, please.
On the precipice, he was waiting at the table hoping it might fall. Gust of wind might have taken that in.
Yeah, he felt like he got kind of robbed there, and I'll tell you, this 6 ball got in as big a manner, in a big way, blocking the 1 as you can get it. 1 very deep in that corner pocket.
Extension, please.
Now, Skyler, I'll tell you one thing that he did for many years is he kind of robbed the world playing on the 7-footer. What it does is the 7-footer kind of teaches you kind of unique situations because you have so much congestion, right? So you learn all these swerves and kicks, little subtle shots.
What I will say, physically impossible to get any closer to knocking in the 1 than FSR was there. It was hanging over the pocket. Literally hanging.
Yeah, and really, when you cut the ball jumping it, right, you don't put a ton of speed on the object ball usually. That can help you at times when you miss the pocket a little bit, but can't take his eye off this one. It's got a little funny angle. In the clear here, the brown 7 does pass the black 8. This reminds me of a shot earlier, actually, not this pink, but the purple. I think that green 6 early for Gary Wilson. Remember the green 6 down the rail? I think that could have really made a big difference in that match. I'll tell you, he could have got a little more angle than that, Phil. He's going to have to hit this with some speed to get somewhat straight on the 6. This is surprising. You can see a little shake of the head there. Now, do you really try to force it here, or do you just work a little harder on the green 6? Oh, he's going past the side. Wow. I don't know if it's a hard ball to go twice back and forth here, the green 6. It's enough angle to do so, but for some reason, if you just get a hair quick, it seems like it doesn't want to travel that far. That's why you saw him sizing up, trying to maybe play the brown 7 from a little bit of a thin angle into the same pocket.
Didn't seem the cleanest of contacts again there, and that entered the pocket thick.
This is another odd one going up and down the table.
Foul stroke.
What a gift.
Ball in hand.
What a turning point. What a blow for Woodward.
Please start the clock.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, it wasn't the 7 ball that was the issue. It was a simple 4 ball to the 5 that started him getting out of line here. You know, with the balls right in front of him as well.
Sanchez Ruiz wins the rack.
8 and 9. Absolutely a formality. Well, it should have been 6-2 for all intents and purposes. In fact, it is 5-3 to Woodward, and FSR has won the last couple of racks to maybe plant a seed of doubt. That scratch on the 7. Oof. You can see he's still shaking his head. That kind of shot, hard to shake off, Jeremy.
Yeah, and it's amazing how life in the world works. Mutual friend of me and Skyler's were messaging today earlier after his previous win, or during the previous win. And I told our friend if he can just leave the big mistake behind. Now he's had a couple of them in the last 2 games, and we'll see how it affects him. The problem is, you know, you got to figure FSR is going to break and make balls sooner or later.
9th rack. Francesco Sanchez Ruiz to break, trailing 5-3.
Consternation, confused. The break just isn't popping.
No, and it's been a struggle for a lot of players today. And I tell you, I don't think more speed. You could tell that time he put more speed into it. Maybe trying to get more movement on other balls. Maybe trying to fluke something in besides the one on the side. But I think actually a hair speed off looks like maybe the ticket. Coming at the 2. Is this going to be like perfect speed here? Wow. Decent.
No point in dwelling on spilt milk. The scratch on the 7. Now history. Just concentrate on the balls that lie before you.
Going to leave a little short kick to an edge of the blue 2 here, and it's sitting actually to where the piece he can hit, he can probably get the cue ball up table. He might pocket the 2 in the lower right. Yeah, I think he's just got to kick this with some speed here. Can't over kick it too much, so you may have to bend the ball just a hair to get at the blue 2. Wouldn't be surprised he knocks this in, though. This is going to fall straight and make it very difficult to get to the red 3. Maybe a hair of angle there, but if so, not much.
Extension called.
Now looking to see where he can get on the 3 to play a safety behind it. I don't know. I think I might chip off the left side of the 2 here. Phil, hit the right side rail, go to the left side rail, and try and drop behind the 9, leaving a very long shot on the 2 if it does come open. Wow, what a shot.
Talk about maximising the opportunity.
It went a long ways, but you could tell how slowly it went up there. There was barely any angle. Got to dodge the side pocket here with the cue ball. If the 5 doesn't go to the upper right, he's got a real bad roll there. If it does go the upper right, he's got a great angle on the pink 4 to get there. Really sweet shot there on the 2. Just needs to stay off the rail. That way he can work the cue ball. Just little 2 rails with top and side here to the center of the table. Could come 1 rail at it, but most would go forward.
Exactly what Woodward needed.
Skyler Woodward.
Not just winning a rack 9, but playing a terrific rack. Some inventive shots there, let me tell you. And that 3-rack cushion is restored. Skyler Woodward leads Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 6-3.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone. If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
At these big open events, you always seem to get one unfamiliar name in the latter stages. It is Dimitris Lukatos in this case, and he's just taken the 8th rack over on table 1 against Kopin. He's very much in the reckoning, the Greek player, trailing only 5-3. on the opposite side of the arena. This is the Chase and Shaw Junior Final. And I can tell you, Mika van Berkel from the Netherlands leads 7-5, so he's just 2 racks away from claiming the trophy. £2,500 and a place in next year's main draw at the UK Open.
Leading by 6 racks to 3.
Well, sweet stroke there that we're probably going to see for a long time from the young man, and both these juniors playing great, and it was fun to watch all the juniors compete. Yeah, a little quick again, did get the one down, but the cue ball got below the rack. I think he doesn't have an offensive play on the blue too. Tell you, he can cue the bottom of the ball from this distance, though very, very hard to knock the blue away and really hold behind the purple. Well, he's hitting a high ball. Can he cut at this? If he can cut at this, he's definitely got to shoot. Comes straight down the table.
No complaints.
No, and you can tell the nerves. I mean, I know Skyler real well, and you know, if he was a little more settled and it wasn't such a big moment, he maybe hits that a little lighter coming down the table, but he likes to kind of ice the ball a little bit with speed at times, and that's all of us. Got a funny 6-8 later in the rack. Can't overlook these next 3, being the 3, 4, and 5, the pink right in front of you. Now, does he try to open the pocket up here for the 6 later on, playing the pink off a little piece of the black 8? I wouldn't get too involved. I mean, if it's really natural, it's one thing, but you could easily double kiss this 8 and have this pink stand up. I think that's the smartest play. Just deal with the 6-8 combination. It's not difficult. Now, I'd like to be close to it, and that's not simply just to make the 6-8. That's not a hard combination, but to keep position on the green 6, that's the real question here in a moment. If you're close to it, you can really handle straight in on the combo or a little angle. I like him being aggressive with the cue ball here, really tracking it much closer to the 6. Now the problem here is, yeah, he's okay. He should be able to hit it with a pretty soft draw. He could fall kind of straight on the 6 for the opposite pocket, but we'll see. Surprised he went forward with the cue ball there. Had to know the 6 was most likely going to come across and not really fall forward off the 8. Should be okay. Draw past the 9 here.
He almost cut out the middleman there. And I've just got a sneaking suspicion Skyler will pop this 9 ball.
Skyler Woodward.
It was a formality, wasn't it? Just as it was at 5-1, now it is at 7-3. Skyler Woodward, 4 clear of FSR, trying to achieve his biggest individual international victory. When I say that, I mean going all the way and claiming the silverware. FSR well capable of a comeback, Jeremy, but he has to improve lots of things. If he can wrest one rack away from Woodward, he needs to improve his break-off.
Yeah, and that's a complexion on his face that we really haven't seen. And he's been in some funny situations the last year and a half and still came through here, right here at the UK Open last year. At 6-0 in his second match with a loss on,
Skyler Woodward to break.
On his side already.
The match by 7 racks to 3.
Looks really disoriented in a manner at the moment.
Woodward knows that, and he aims to capitalise.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, FSR should really be paying attention to the speed that Skyler's hitting the break shot. Obviously not a soft break of any sort, but did take a little off where he started from, and FSR is having troubles making balls on the break. He's actually added speed, and it hasn't helped. If he gets out here, whew, what an out this would be. Long shot on the 2. The red 3 barely goes by. Got to play a bank on the pink 4 or some type of short side position.
That was the ironic thing last year, wasn't it, Jeremy, when you were US captain in Vegas? He was playing superbly. The Americans had a head of steam late on, and his was the shot that turned it back in Europe's favour. The missed 5 ball that was as simple as you like.
Yeah, he just got a little stretch there, and he told me right afterwards I got a little quick with it, and Mosconi Cup, Skyler, Skyler, can take things for granted every now and again, but Mosconi is definitely a situation he wouldn't. And he had a very struggling David Alcady at the moment in that match, and kind of woke him up. Alcady made one of the best rail first shots you'll ever see in your life, and from there played perfect. Is he going to get a bump? He needs a big one. I'll tell you, we may see him still attack here to the lower right. I know it looks, and it is very difficult, but I'm wondering really where's the safety?
The extension, please.
And the 3 was so tight. I think going by the 7, he really just had to take what he could. I like him shooting at this, I really do.
Quickly, Copenhagen's lead further eroded to 5-4 over Lakatos.
And I think we saw, I'm not sure, but I did get a look out at the table. He given a ball in hand, and I think there was a 3 foul there as well in rack number 9. Yeah, I like him shooting. Again, there's a shot there, and if he shoots it in this big moment, hard to blame him because he's such a great banker of the ball, right? Especially when the chips are on the line. But you got to believe a safety here is coming. This is a funny shot as well. He's hitting awfully high on this cue ball, I'll tell you. Perfect speed.
Won the Bankpool Ring game at the Derby City Classic in 2019. The year he won the 9 ball there and the Master of the Table as well.
Extension, please.
Yeah, I was there for that, and it was a sweet win, and he played exceptional pool in the 9 ball the entire way. And I'll tell you, of course, the Derby City Classic kind of brought Bankpool back where it should be. It's a fantastic game to watch and even more fun game to play, but players like Skyler Woodward and Billy Thorpe, John Brumback, a bunch of others really brought the game back with how well they play it.
Yes, John's won the Banks pool at the Derby City Classic on more than one occasion, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the man to beat for about 5 or 6 years, it seemed like. That tournament will go down with a lot of talking about through the years. Wow. Is he truly one of the best with the jump cue when it matters the most? We're going to see it again. I mean, Federer course is considered the best, but man, I've seen this guy make a lot of jumps the last few years.
He was very animated there. I think when he realised the cue ball was going to flick off potentially in behind the 9.
Maybe hitting the 8 here. So at the moment, it's in Skyler's hands.
Jump-wise, no matter your expertise and your strike rate, you can't keep going to the well.
Well, and it's just, you know, how it is. It's just a difficult shot. These players today have made it look so doable at times. It's amazing to me, really, but along with the equipment getting so good. Yeah, he's upset here. He wanted to keep a real natural angle to slide the cue ball 2 rails with some low right. Now Skyler can force the ball off of very small angles as well as anyone on the planet. The problem with this is high ball, when the 7's close to the rail like that, it doesn't want to move much. So I like him trying to force it.
When it comes to manoeuvrability and manufacturing the ball around the table, few are better.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't give any credit to the 7-footer experience, right? But the thing about the 7-footer is you don't always play with the ideal equipment. You have to learn to kind of create some power and do some things from some odd situations. I like that little extra time right there.
Skyler Woodward.
What a difference a few days make. Beaten in his first match by an unknown. Now just 2 racks away from the semi-finals of the UK Open, and 2 racks away from overcoming the man who's atop the 9-ball rankings by a country mile.
And, you know, we talk about a bunch of players, and maybe not Skyler quite as much as we should, but of course you got to make deep runs to get talked about. That's just how it goes. But we talk about Mario He, and we talk about maybe Max Lechner and some other names out there that are looking for that big title and how scary they may become if they get it. And I put Skyler right there with them.
Rack 12th. Skyler Woodward to break, leading by 8 racks to 3.
In his second match in this tournament last year, having lost his first, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz came back from 6-0 down, but the quality of opposition in this contest considerably greater.
All right, a bunch of kisses, and you know, the opposition of how things are going for FSR are pretty big as well. Now finally another dry break. It hadn't happened since the first rack for Skyler. Maybe it hadn't happened at all. FSR snookered, looking for a shot to try and get things going, and then he's got to face the breaking end if he wins a game. 2-ball hanging here, and very hard to roll out up table. Players will take a bit of a flyer at a ball hanging, right? Knowing they got a huge percentage to make it. So I don't know where he goes here. Now the cue ball needs to be on the rail no matter where he goes, or behind an object ball, maybe some type of jump shot behind the 8. But that's a hard one to control, to push out on. So and the problem here with the push out is not only serving up something offensive, which is almost what he has to do. It seems like he has to challenge him because he has to leave distance, but you still leave Skyler the option. If there's a safety he likes, he'll certainly take that on. A lot of problems
Push
here.
out called.
All right, chipping the purple, or is he going off the brown? The reason he does that is to settle
choice,
the
Skyler.
speed of the cue ball. He knows he wanted it really near the end rail, and there's just no way he's getting this back, in my opinion anyways. Couldn't imagine Skyler passing on this, whether he plays safe or tries to knock it in. Lucata's over there looking to tie the match.
Almost certain to do so. Yes, I did say earlier on, I'd be astounded if he won the contest. Well, astonishment, maybe. Here we come. It is 5-5.
Yeah, and the way he's sizing this up, he's going for it. Is he going to get lucky behind the black 8? No, I don't think so. Here's that combination on the blue 2 we were talking about.
I think technically that was one of his worst shots of the entire match. The shoulder was heavily involved. He dipped into the shot, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's what happens when you get a little quick with the backswing. Things start to break down on the downswing. And I was actually going to mention, let's see how still he stays through the shot. A lot of things going on here, though. He wants to float this, but there's a 6 ball he might go into. Oh, he shot quickly. I was wondering that right there, if he maybe could make them both and get in a bad situation as well. But there, he let the beeps get to him again, right?
Well, that's at least the 4th time, maybe even more.
Yeah, and we talked about the other couple were kick shots, which I still think affected his shot overall, but we're talking about an open shot here and a very crucial one. A tough kick. He does have some options with the 9 and the purple 5. Is he going to get a rail? He did. Now Skyler got to keep it simple here. Just knock the red into the pink and come up by the left middle using the purple 5 and the 9 ball as blockers. I wouldn't get too involved with this. You know, just come up, avoid the side pocket with the cue ball. Did he get enough of this? Eesh. You don't want to leave the rail first here. With the 4 ball there to stop the red, he can play a rail first and send the cue ball up behind the 8. So a little bit of a mistake there. Oh, watch out, cue ball. It's going to have some check spin on it, though. Can't quite tell if he got the snooker. I think Skyler's got a look. Oh, what a touchy shot this is.
The extension, please.
I don't really know. Is he going to run the cue ball here, trying to use the 8 maybe? I don't. He could try to play a soft one going behind the 5-9, the purple 5 and the 9 with the cue ball, similar to what he did in the last. I think that's what he's doing. Could leave a jump shot easily, of course. That's got to go a little bit, I think. Now we'll see how FSR is feeling. I think the 3 does sneak by a very tight pocket going by the pink 4, but probably plays the safety, kind of just banking the 3 over by the purple, dropping the cue ball below the pink, or behind the pink rather. Pretty routine. Let's let this go a little bit. This could serve something up. Maybe a little fortunate not to leave something on the 9. He definitely let him see the 3. I think so anyways. Here's that banking prowess we're about to see across side. I mean, it might have a little pace on it, Phil.
You called it, Jeremy. He did it. It's a cloudless sky tonight. Everything sunny.
Yeah, so far, and we talk about a lot of things, and anytime he says something about a bank shot, I said, well, that's up to you. You know, you like it, you like it. It's going to get a little rub on the 9 here. Shouldn't be any problem. If he can contain here, should get to the hill with a very commanding lead. That's perfect. And if you're trying to improve at your pool game, watch that little 4 to 5 inch bounce off the rail. Those are so key. Easy to forget about that. Land on the rail in a lot of kind of silly situations.
FSR in deep trouble.
Skyler Woodward.
Skyler Woodward. He likes banks more than Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid put together. 9-3 ahead on the hill. The 9-ball rankings #1 in deep trouble.
Just turn it on. Just turn it on. Start out the lights and watch me set it off. Just turn it on. Just turn it on.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone. If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
That is Jason Shaw. Proud of the fact that the Junior Open at this year's event is named after him, and it's gone all the way. The perfect finish. Max Benko and Mika van Berkel, 8 racks each, all on this one because it's a race to 9. Another real battle across the arena as the 2-ball goes astray. Copigny now back in front, albeit by a slender margin at 6-5 over Dimitris Lukatos. Nothing slender about
Thank you,
Skyler
13th
Woodward's
rack.
margin.
Skyler Woodward is breaking on the hill, leading by 9 racks to 3.
As Marcel Eckhart, the referee, has just told us he's on the hill, 6 in front of FSR. Did the 5 shift out of the way?
I think so, just kind of knowing Skyler and his mannerisms, right? The 9 almost went in the side to end that match, but I think he does have a shot. It's close. Looks like Van Berkel is maybe going to get out here. Making a nice out after an unfortunate miss 2 by Benko. That's the juniors. I'll tell you what, it's set up now for Sky Woodward. Heck of a shot there on the 2, no doubt. He's got to just push a little bit past the brown 7, it appears. Doesn't want to contact the brown 7 if he can avoid it. So probably a pretty light speed here. Oh. Didn't realize he could stun over for short side, Phil. And used every bit of the pocket doing it. That ball's been standing up most of the week.
Heart in mouth, eh? Heart in mouth.
He's in a great spot here. Looks like the 8 does pass the 9 in the right middle. He'd love to not use any more cushions for the cue ball here, Phil. Just a little stop, stop, stop. Probably hear a little roar here in a moment. Looks like Van Berkel's in a great spot on the 9 to take down the inaugural Jason Shaw Jr. Open.
How the youngster must be feeling, and how Skyler Woodward will be feeling in 3 pots' time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jason Shaw, a father of 2 himself, I'm sure we'll have a junior champion come out of that family as well. But hats off to the juniors.
It's been one of the best performances I've seen from him for quite some time. Polar opposite for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, who has gone out of the tournament by his standards meekly. Skyler Woodward, the Mosconi Cup MVP twice over, has played some wonderful pool this evening, and he advances to the semi-finals of the UK Open. Only American left in the event. Is that trophy going to go back across the Atlantic? If he carries on playing like this, there's every reason to think it could. Copigny, by the way,